All right, so today is part one of the LS Trans Am build. We're actually going to be running a 2000 Trans Am. It is actually a 2000 Firebird that we're converting over to a 2000 Trans Am. We're running a iron block 6-liter in there that had all the machine work done by UMI Performance out of Longview, Texas. We're going to go through, of course, we're going to do the DOD delete on it. We're going to be doing a few other things. Also, please don't mind the color. The color will be coming off. That was from the previous owner. They picked an interesting color, as you can see. Anyways, so we're still working on getting most of it off, but I'd like to get everything taped off before we go through and start getting everything all over the place. So anyways, we're going to be running our Race Tech pistons, specifically designed for boosted application. We're going to be running a twin turbo setup. So just to give you a comparison between the two, and again, I apologize for the videos, first time doing this. If you want to see a stock comparison of what came out of the engine, you've got that right there. That looks really nice and pretty compared to what's going to go in there, which again is even nice and pretty. So we're going to be going through today and getting the ring gaps done, going through and making sure that everything is cleaned out, cleaning all the cylinders, making sure that we don't have any debris, contamination, stuff like that in there. And once we get that done, then we'll be going through and of course start the bottom end assembly with the crank, bearings, etc. Some of the steps you might see me skip, just because, again, like I said, it's the first time, so trying to make sure that we get this done, and I'm not focusing more on video than I am on the motor. So as far as when we get to bearing clearances, etc., plastic gauge, etc., all that right there will be done. We also had everything done at the shop prior to coming back here to the house, to our shop. So you know, a lot of that stuff right there has already been checked. It's always a good thing to double check your stuff again. I also like to give a huge shout out. As you can see the background, I've got one of the banners up and got a couple more along the way. I'll talk about them and show them. One is Tooley Racing, and we've also got fuel injection connection. We'll be running 2000 cc injectors on this car, and we're also running a ton of Summit Racing parts. They've hooked us up and taken care of us on a lot of different stuff, which will be later on in the build, as far as racing seats and also the harnesses, etc. We've got a lot of those parts. They're going to go in there and a lot of goodies. And we'll also go over the fuel system setup as far as the -10, -8, and -6 lines that we're going to be running, how we're running them, where we're running them, and price-wise, etc., kind of where we got them. So I know for me, a lot of this was a lot of looking and reading people's forums, reading what people went over, reading the questions that people had, because there were questions that I had myself as where in the world do I find these parts at? What kind of prices are we looking at? And do I really need to spend all the money, or do I want to go ahead and dish out the money the first time and build it right, as they always say, build it right and make sure that it's going to last, rather than getting to the track and letting it do what it's going to do and explode. So you don't want that. So definitely, again, bear with me on the videos. I'll take as many as I can, show what I've got, show the build process along the way, and we'll go from there. I appreciate it. Hang in there for more. Thanks.